Hey, it's Jason Balin again. I know you're super excited to get this book, Hard Money Secrets, in your hands right away. But if you're like me, you're probably pretty darn amped up right now and you want to get as much information as you can. So guess what? I'm going to give you a free first lesson of hard money lending. Hopefully you can see this on this handy whiteboard I just put together. My handwriting is not the best, but follow along because this is super important. The most important thing about hard money lending and private lending is having access to deals. Having access to deals is the most important lesson. I'll tell you a quick story. When Chris and I got started, we came from the mortgage industry and we knew, or we thought we knew, so many real estate investors out there. We knew mortgage brokers, we knew real estate agents, we knew real estate investors that were fixing and flipping houses. And our approach was, well, we already know all these investors out there. That should be easy. Let's go find capital, because we didn't have any capital sources. We didn't have really much of our own capital to deploy either. So we needed to go raise money. We felt like that was the first step. And although capital is super important, you're not gonna be able to raise capital until you have an opportunity where you have deal flow to match it with. And this is what I mean by this. Surprisingly to us, every person that we created relationships with that had some capital. We didn't know a bunch, we didn't know a lot of them, but we reached out to a few through friends of friends. And everyone who was interested in this business model, they were really interested in the business model. And you know what they told us? They said, Chris, Jason, yeah, you're offering a double-digit interest rate of return. It's somewhat of a passive investment. They're good real estate at 65% or less LTV based off of the after repair value. You seem to be, legit guys that know what you're doing. Yeah, I'm willing to put up money. Where's the deal? It was all about finding the opportunity and finding the deal. And what do I mean by deal? I mean the right deal. And if you upgraded to our advanced training earlier, we go through all of that stuff of what a good deal is. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is, no matter where you are in your career, my guess is you do not have enough deal flow. And if you're only getting 1 or 2 deals, or maybe even 10 deals a week, leads a week, that's not enough. It's not nearly enough. You need to be getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not more, on a monthly basis in order to do your deals. Now, don't be too overwhelmed on that. It's not the end of the world, right? You don't have to create a huge company or a huge team. You just need deals, right? You need proper leads. And as you get more mature into this business model, it's going to be the same borrowers over and over and over reaching out to you. And it makes it easier and easier. But on the front end, you need reps and you need to talk to people. And the more people you talk to, the better. So don't get too overwhelmed on this. But we are going to go through some marketing funnel that I recommend you do. I really recommend you do. If you're raising capital or you have your own money, you need to have access to deals. And I'm going to go through some of the things that we do. And you don't have to do all of them. This is just some of them. But let's go through it. So this is broken up through online and offline marketing. So obviously you need a website. You have to have a website. If you don't have a website, it's going to be hard to do much of anything. Number one with a website, it builds credibility, right? It builds credibility. So when someone's searching your company, Hard Money Bankers, and go look at our website, just go to hardmoneybankers.com and you'll see exactly what we have on there. And take a look at it. They go to the website, they build credibility, you got pictures of yourself on there. So the credibility, obviously the important part. The second most important part is it's got a lead capture on there, so you could collect their information if they want more information kind of about some of your services and things like that. And we're gonna get through the database and important, because this database right here is the most important thing. The most important thing is creating a database. We're gonna get through that in a second. So you need some sort of website, even if it's very basic, just outlining them so you can get in touch with you. Same thing with a funnel, and I'm not going to go too in depth related to a funnel, but a funnel in essence, somebody goes to your website where you have some sort of lead capture on there. They fill out the information, maybe they get a free report, and then you follow up with them on a regular basis with some sort of email copy or something else. But get the website, that's important. Don't worry too much about the name. Just keep it simple. hardmoneylender in Texas.com or jtfunding.com, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Make sure you have a website. Not going to go too far advanced into SEO and stuff like this at this point. And pretty much everything we're going to talk about are going to be free ways to do marketing. So social media. The social media has to match up to your website. So let's say you're JT Funding LLC. Now, I don't love the name JT Funding, obviously, because it doesn't really state what it is. It'd be good to have something related to the word hard money or private lending or hard lending, something related to that. But let's say it's just JT Funding. You're going to use, you need to set up everything related to social media, right? So you need a Facebook page, you need an Instagram page, you need a LinkedIn page, you need a Twitter page, and you need a Google Business page. Super, super important. All of those things need to be done because the goal of all of this is it's not, hope is not a strategy, right? So it's not a coincidence that we get tons and tons of phone calls and emails and text messages and walk into our office every day. It's because we're marketing out there. It's not like I know all these people. We're marketing, they're seeing our advertisements online, offline, and then they're reaching out to us, just like any business. Any business who markets the best is always going to get the most lead flow or deal flow or customers. So you got to do all that on social media. Set it up. If you don't want to set up it yourself, go find somebody on Fiverr or somebody to do it. Online, go find a friend, set them up, pay them a few $100 and have them set it up. And, again, not too advanced on that, but it's important. A little hack is make sure you create your company name and put it on Google Maps and also on Apple Maps, because this day and age is pretty interesting, but sometimes when people search things, they go to the map instead of actual Google to do it. So again, as your site grows and you rank on Google and you spend time or money on SEO and ranking some videos that you put on YouTube, things like that are important, and you need to do all that stuff. But I want to give you kind of an overview just to kind of get started. The other thing is obviously directories. So online directories, we do stuff through BiggerPockets. I'll write posts for them. I'll do posts. Sometimes I'll do some videos. Sometimes I'll comment in their forums. Obviously, real estate investors are hanging out in BiggerPockets. Another directory we do is REI Club. If you go to reiclub.com, I think we spend $100 a month, and we're one of the lenders on there. So any place we can be a preferred lender where people, real estate investors who are our target audience, go to, you want to go to. So let me back up one step, because I should have talked about this earlier. The most important part of doing all of this stuff on the front end is to make sure you're collecting their information. And what do I mean by that? Typically an email address. That's the most important thing. Our email database is the most valuable part of our business, and that is where the reason that we've been successful in our lending business is because when I talk to somebody over the phone, or I meet somebody and I get their business card, or they fill out one of our free reports online, I get their email address and I can follow up with them over and over and over and over and over, multiple times a week, multiple times a month, potentially hundreds of times over the year, over and over and over, and they see our advertisements, they see us on a regular basis. When somebody comes to you today, let's say somebody calls you on the phone looking for a loan, they might not need a loan today, they might just need some information about the loan. They might about what you do, but they might not be ready. If you own a store and someone walks into the store, right? They walk into your store and they don't buy from you today and they leave, you don't know who they are and you never talk to them again, right? Just wasted opportunity. Someone goes to your website, you better collect their information. If you meet somebody and you spend time on them, you better collect their business card, because you have to follow up with them over and over and over and over. So we'll get back to that in a second. Offline stuff. Meetups are super popular right now. What I would recommend at a meetup is go to a meetup or an REI club, REI Association or REIA club that been around for a while. It seems like most of them converted into meetup groups. Originally, when we started, Chris and I would blanket the area. We'd go to all of them. We'd hand out business cards. That was our first goal. Hand out business cards. Meet many people as we wanted. Neither one of us are all that extroverted. It was hard for us to do, but it was important. Any real estate investor, we traded. We didn't have much money, so we traded our time, and we spent our time on doing those things. So we'd go, hand a business card, tell them what to do. We're lending money. Anyone who you tell you have capital, access to capital, they're going to talk to you. I promise you. It's that simple. You have access to capital. Oh, you're a hard money lender. You're a private lender. I want to talk to you. So we would go, all those groups, we'd hand out business cards with the goal in the future to be able to speak and to do presentations at those meetup groups. So instead of having to go talk to 100 people one by one, what did we do? Okay, well now we can go present. So instead of talking one-on-one to 100 people, we could go do our presentation once in front of 100 people, right? And then years later, we started our own meetup group, and our own meetup group has about 6,000 members in it with a few hundred people that come every month. So that's kind of the transition. It goes a long way right? So instead of you just kind of running around one-on-one, then you can be up higher and then have people, finding you. So mortgage brokers, real estate agents, all good sources for finding opportunities and finding deals. They have it. Direct mail. I wouldn't start direct mail up front because it costs money, and we like to do things that don't cost money. But if you are going to do direct mail, and now we do direct mail, I would say go to a place like ListSource or LeadSource, or a place where you can scrape data, or you can buy data, and look for anyone over the last 12 months who has purchased more than 3 properties in the last 12 months. So, for instance, if it's an experienced real estate investor and they're buying houses and they're buying multiple properties, they're going to show up more than 3 times in this database. So, for instance, any entity name who has bought more than 3 properties over the last 12 months is most likely an experienced real estate investor that you want to target and you want to mail them. Just do that. It's simple. They're not going to be a homeowner. A homeowner doesn't buy 3 properties in a year. So that's always been a good setup. And then anywhere that you can collect business cards from real estate investors. You only want to market to real estate investors, right? Yeah, if you're doing commercial properties for commercial buildings, and you can find a way to do that, that's fine. I mean, we've spoken at auction.com events. We've spoken at, local, commercial brokerages and, real estate offices and things like that. It just has to be your target audience of real estate investors. Okay. So those are some ideas. There's tons of these, right? Tons of these, right? We didn't talk about paid stuff. We do stuff, we spend money on Google AdWords, we spend money on Facebook ads, we spend money on, LinkedIn ads. We do all of that. But I want to give you and get your kind of head going of ways that you can get in front of real estate investors. So the goal of that is to get them into your database. Now, how do you get them into your database? Well, you maybe target them to your website to fill out a loan application. You could do that. Maybe you have a free report. If you upgraded to that special offer we did earlier, you have access to all of that stuff that we gave you, access to a free report. Maybe you give them some videos to help them with real estate investing. Maybe you give them like a quick deal analyzer that helps them analyze their deals quickly. Maybe you offer them a proof of funds letter. If you want to do a proof of funds letter, give me your email address, right? If I'm doing, and part of the scripting stuff, if I'm doing a call with somebody, typically the setup is I'm on the phone with them and maybe I can't help them, right? Maybe they're a turn down, right? But I either spent time or money in order for them to pick up the phone and call me to begin with. So when I'm on the phone with them, I say, hey, listen, honestly, this isn't a great fit right now, but why don't we do this? What's your email? If you give me your email address, I'll just send you all my contact information and a little bit more about our company so you have it in the future if you find the right deal or you find a cash partner or something like that, right? And I get their email address and then they go into the database. When you have a database of people, you have ammunition to go after them on a regular basis to try to send you a deal. And I said this earlier, most people who call you on the phone or send you an email or fill out a loan application on your website don't have a deal necessarily right now. They're looking for more information. They want you to follow up with them on a regular basis, but you've got to get their information so you can follow up with them. Now, what do you follow up with them with? Well, you can do a video related to hard money lending. You can do a video to help them be better real estate investors. You can tell them you offer pre-approval letters, whatever the case is. Go to look on some of our websites and you'll be able to see all that of things that we do. So if you have a database, now it doesn't have to stop with email. It doesn't have to just only be email addresses. Email is the most important thing. But if you have your phone number, you can do follow-up calls with them. You can do voice broadcasts with them. If they opt into sending them text messages, you can market through text messages. Direct messages, maybe that's a little bit more one-on-one, but for instance, some people, depending on how old they are, want to be communicated with through DMs. They don't want to be called. They want to be DM'd, right? Or you can set up meetings, but you need all of this for the database, right? Again, another thing we talked about is you can spend time on this or you can spend money on this. I'd encourage you to do both. When you're starting, mostly time, because there's a lot of low-hanging fruit, free leads, free opportunities out there that you can get at really, really no cost. But as you grow and as you scale, you might want to put some money behind all this. But the goal is you have to get them. You have to get their email address. You have to get their contact information. It's how it works. It doesn't matter if you're a hard money lender, if you're a real estate agent, if you're flipping houses, if you own, a pretzel stand. It doesn't matter. Online, offline business, it doesn't matter. You have to get their contact information so you could follow up with them over and over and over. I mean, typically when we're spending money for leads, our cost per lead, cost per acquisition is about $25 per borrower, right? I'm spending $25, I better in heck get their email address to follow up with them. And if they want to opt out in the future because they're not interested in working with us, that's fine, they can. But you need to get all their information. You know what happens once a month, or once a week, sorry, because we typically do when someone opts in, let's say they get our free report, they're gonna get like 7 emails in 7 days related to how to get a hard money loan. And then after that, we try to get them to apply for a loan if they're ready, right? So everyone's getting those, the people that opt in get the autoresponder emails. But besides that, we do broadcast emails twice a month. Or twice, guys, I keep saying month, twice a week, right? Twice a week we do that. And they're tailored to 2 different topics. One of them is just straight content, right? They're all content typically like a Private Money Minute video I did, or some video about, hey, what are the 3 best ways to flip a house, whatever, topics are. You can go look on our website, you can see all that stuff. So that's typically one of them. It still has a call to action at the bottom that says, hey, if you're looking for a loan in these states, come apply. And then the second one is a little bit more just straight call to action. Like, do you have a loan that's closing in the next 7 days and you need a funding commitment today type of thing, right? We get hundreds of phone calls when we do that, right? So we're proactive. I'm not picking up the phone book and calling real estate investors. Could you do that? Sure, but I'm not. I'm having them reach out to us. We're sending something digitally, something online, something for the most part pretty passive, just an email to them with the call to action to come call us or come fill out our loan application or come email me with a deal that we're working on. Because if you talk to somebody 30 days ago, chances are they might not remember you. There's other hard money lenders out there. There are other sources of capital out there. There's other private lenders out there. If you talk to them 30 days ago, chances are they might not remember you or have your information. But if you have their information and you're reaching out to them at least once a week, because that's the number, once a week, typically Thursdays are great days to reach out to them via email, via autoresponder email, they're gonna remember you, like, oh crap, my lender just fell out, or oh crap, I just got this property under contract, it has to close next week. I completely forgot about hard money bankers. So this is where it's at, right? And then you follow up with them, and you got to be consistent. So let's just do a few action items and call it a day. Okay, call it a day. Pick a few of these that you want to do right now and start working on them. If you don't have a website, that's probably number 1. Create all that stuff. Figure out what offline stuff you're comfortable doing. Put that on your calendar to start working on, and get some lead capture, opt-in loan application for your report, things like that. Set up your email database. You can do that through like MailChimp or Infusionsoft or Aweber, whatever you want. Set up a system on that, and then figure out your calendar of what you're going to send out on a regular basis. Okay, follow up. That's where all the money's made. The goal of this business is, for the most part, to work hard to get borrowers into to do a first deal with you, and then after you do a first deal with you, you trust them, they trust you. It's very simple to do the next deal and the next deal and the next deal and the next deal and the next deal, and that's what it's all about. Don't let this overwhelm you. It's just marketing, but it's important. You got to do it. I mean, I hate to say it, but if you're just starting, you might think, okay, well, I'll do some, I'm only going to spend a little bit of time marketing now because I have all this other stuff to do over here. Spend all this time on marketing right now, knowing that after a deal comes in, you can, work the rest out. And I'll tell you, if you don't have good deals that come in, you're not going to raise capital if you have to raise capital. It's that simple. You're just not. If your deals are not good, they're not. And if you have 5 deals to choose from a month or a week, and you got to close one of them, 20%, it's not going to work. I don't want to scare you that the numbers are a lot different than that, but just make sure you're marketing and get the deals in. I'm not stating that you shouldn't give great customer service, but it's not the worst thing in the world if you have too many leads that you can't talk to them all, right? You cherry pick the best of the best of the best. It's going to be hard for you to raise capital unless you have really good opportunities. And if you're using your own capital, you're going to be doing deals that you probably shouldn't. We see it too many times with a lot of our students, and potentially we could have done it ourselves when we started in 2007. We didn't have as much lead flow. So take it seriously. Take the marketing seriously, and you'll be successful. If you need anything, reach out to us and check your mail soon. This is coming. I know you're going to enjoy it. Enjoy.